guys, and welcome back to an episode of Off the Shelf. I'm Otomo HD, and this week we found Off the Shelf was... Akira, released in 1988, based on the manga of the same name, created and directed by Katsuhiro Otomo. I believe I'm saying that correctly. This film is a cyberpunk action film, and said to be one of the greatest films ever made, and one of the greatest films ever made, one of the greatest animated films ever made, and one of the most influential films ever made. It's a lot of zingers right there, right? This film... Okay, I know I may not be a film fan if I say this, but I did not know how influential this film was going into it. Obviously, I'd heard of it. I'm not that much of a plebeian, but I'd heard of it, and I'm like, oh man, this movie's really interesting. I really want to watch it. And I didn't know anything about it, right? So I went in completely blind, no idea. I didn't even know the name of the main character. I didn't even know anything about the movie. I just knew he wore a cool jacket. Right, that's all I knew. And I watched it, and it's just like, it's so fucking good, right? Like, I can understand why this film was so influential. I can understand why this film was so beloved, and why it still is. Like, how its influence still is ingrained in film and animation. Like, it's got a firm grasp on pop culture, and it has since the late 80s. And it's like... It's just brilliant, right? And I'm not going to get into the commentaries or the deep concepts, because even though I know they're there, I just watched it, and I don't think I need to give it a couple rewatches. Plus, you guys know that's not really how I do things. But if you want to find videos like that, I guarantee there are tons of videos talking about, analyzing this movie, and I guarantee they're fantastic videos. Much better than videos I could make. And it's like... It's just, I'm here to tell you guys why this movie kicks ass, right? This movie kicks fucking ass because it's action-packed, it's thrilling, it's deep, it's thought-provoking, it's beautiful in a way. It's funny, actually. There's a lot of funny dialogue between the characters. It's just, it's the complete package, right? You can get everything you want in a movie like this. Incredible action, great characters, a really likable main character, a good, antagonist, and overall just a really, really good story. And overall, the film just, the mystery builds, and as the mystery builds, you just, you're like, oh, what's going on here, and finally, by the end of the movie, you get it, and you're like, man, it makes sense now. It's so well done. It's so well done. It's, genuinely probably one of the best animated movies I've ever seen. It's so good. And it's it's bloody, gory, not too excessive, right? It also paved the way for adult animation, showing Western audiences, and just audiences in general, that animation isn't just for kids, right? That animation could be for anybody of any range of age, right? Could be literally for anybody, and I can absolutely appreciate this film for what it did for the industry, and it just so happens to be an incredible film on top of that. The body horror aspects of it near the end, of the weird flesh blob amalgamation. I love how Kanata is just this super chill, not giving a single fuck type of guy. He's just... he doesn't, he's so carefree. At least to me, he seems super carefree the entire movie. Even when he's, getting his ass kicked, or when he, gets beat up, he's like, man, I gotta go get that guy. I'm gonna go get him again, right? He's my favorite character, because he's funny, and he's just he's just entertaining, and he's like a really fun main character because he's so fearless, right? He's bold, he's fearless. He literally jumps into a ball of pure energy just like, or maybe no, did he get pulled in or did he jump no, yeah, he did jump in, didn't he? Well, no, he okay, so here's what happened. It's a little complicated. He kind of didn't jump in, but he kind of didn't run away from it. So there's this giant ball of energy right at the end of the film. Gotta watch the film to understand it. But his friend Tetsuo, it's like this giant flesh amalgamation is getting pulled in, right? And one of like the other like telepathic people, by the way, they have telepathic powers. There's like a group of people that have telepathic powers. Tetsuo, his friend, has one of them, and there's 3 other ones who they're like little kids, and they're like super strong with telepathy and stuff. And Kanata, he's gonna chase Tetsuo into the ball of energy, right? The kid's like, no, don't do it. And he's like, get out of my way. He literally shoves him aside, and he literally essentially jumps into the energy. I believe he gets pulled in, but it's like, he could have walked away, but he didn't. So he was kind of basically jumping into the ball of energy. And it's like, he's fearless. Literally, like, the perfect main character for a movie like this. And also, when I'm talking about influence, kind of got off track there, but cyberpunk. How could I forget? This film was an absolute pioneer. Maybe not pioneer, but an absolute massive influence for the cyberpunk genre, right? And I personally think cyberpunk is one of the most underrated genres in media because it's so interesting, right? We got like Blade Runner, Ghost in the Shell, Akira, Cyberpunk 2077. There's like a lot of really cool cyberpunk stuff, but it's a fairly underutilized genre, and I really think it should be used more because it's so cool, right? Like the like neon, like dystopian future type vibe is awesome, right? It's so cool. And why don't they use it more? I don't know. But anyway, this one was super influential for the cyberpunk genre, and I don't know, I'm going off on a tangent, but this film is just so fucking good, and honestly, I don't think my words could do it justice. I genuinely believe that if you're a fan of anime, if you're a fan of action movies, if you're a fan of cyberpunk, if you're a fan of just movies, I think you will get a genuine kick out of this film, and animation too. Just any line, you will absolutely love this film. I can guarantee that, because it's just so good. And yeah, I can't not recommend it. It's just so good, right? And I think I don't know if I don't think I'm being too nice. I think I'd rate this film a 9 out of 10. It's just really good. I mean, it's not perfect. No film is perfect. But it's as close to a 10 as you could get, right? This film is absolutely incredible. And yeah, absolutely recommend it. Yeah, and I think I've said what I need to say, or if I wanted to say all I wanted to say, I'd be here all day, but wanted to go a little short. So, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you like it. Share with friends. Subscribe to notifications on. Comment down below if you liked it. And I'm going to time HD. Off to do the Akira slide. You know, it's like I don't have a bike. I don't have a vehicle I can do it. But you guys know what I'm talking about. You've seen it in a lot of stuff, like where it's like they're in front of the camera and then they don't, and they like drift in front of it. That came from this movie. Well, I tell you, the influence is deep. And I didn't even, I've seen the slide, I bet you guys have seen that slide in a bunch of movies, a billion movies, right? But I didn't know, did you know? Let me know down in the comments. Am I just uncultured? Have I been uncultured for like 16 years of my life? Let me know down in the comments.